Hi, my name is Tara Drake, and I'm a nursing student at the University of Texas Arlington School of Nursing. I'm providing a leadership book review for my nursing class, Nursing Leadership in Complex Health Systems. The book that I chose to review is the Leader's Pocket Guide: 101 Indispensable Tools, Tips, and Techniques for Any Situation by John Baldoni. This is the book here, as you can tell. So, a little bit about the author. He's internationally recognized leadership consultant, coach, and author of more than a dozen books. These books have been published in 10 different languages. He's had the privilege of working with senior leaders from every industry, from pharmaceuticals to real estate, packaged goods, automobiles, finance, and healthcare. In 2018, Inc.com named him a top 100 speaker. In 2018, Trust Across America honored him with its Lifetime Achievement Award for Trust. He's been on the Global Guru's Top 30 Global Leadership Expert list since 2007. In 2014, Inc.com listed him as a top 50 leadership expert, and he's been published in Forbes, HBR, Inc.com, SmartBrief, and Thinkers 50. 4 of his books have been selected as leadership books in their respective years. The Leadership Pocket Guide: 101 Indispensable Tools, Tips, and Techniques for Any Situation by John Baldoni. The purpose of this book is to provide readers with a concise, on-the-job expertise to inspire, direct them on their personal journey. So the great thing about this book is it's organized into 3 easy reference sections. So if you're a leader and you need to see things about self-leadership, leading your colleagues, or leading your organization, you can turn to each one of these sections very easily. It's very basic concepts, attitudes, and approaches for new leaders and how to manage yourself, people, and your organizations. One thing is it might be a little basic for expert managers, but it's a nice little reference for them. Some of the great sections in this book is how to manage with an open door, visiting employees where they work, hiring for character, leading with passion, knowing that you can't say it's not my job, using a checklist to lead, act like you own it. It takes a strong leader to compromise and project confidence. One of the things is 6 words to lead by, and those 6 words are big ideas, profound thoughts, and truthful moments. So the target audience for this book is mostly new leaders needing guidance on how to manage yourself, your people, and your organization. Like I said before, it might be a little bit more basic for experienced managers, but it could be helpful for a quick reference for experienced managers. It's useful in providing reassurance for those looking for it and to remind those experienced in leadership that they know more than they give themselves credit for. So they could quickly turn to a little reference or to a little area that they're looking for to reference and then just remind themselves that, yes, they are in fact correct in handling the situation, and it's quick and easy. So some of the strengths of this book, John Baldoni did a great job in making this very short and concise. It was a super easy read. Each section was just maybe a couple of paragraphs to a couple of pages at the longest, making it really easy. You could really gather all the information very quickly. At the end of each chapter, he gives these action tips to just kind of like summarize what you read about in each chapter. And then at the end of every couple of chapters, he gives these think about assessment quizzes, which they aren't really quizzes. It's just a couple of questions to just kind of have you reflect on what you've learned, kind of think about situations that you've been in or that you might be in, and to see, take the ideas that you've learned and kind of put them into these situations and see if you feel like you have the skills to handle them. Then you can always reference back to the material that you've read and see if you can handle them a little bit better. Some of the weaknesses or shortcomings of this book. For me, you could only find it via Kindle or Nook on Amazon or Barnes & Noble unless you wanted to buy the hardcover version. The 101 tools, tips, and techniques can seem very overwhelming at first, but once you get into it, it's a little bit easier knowing that it's a simple read. There were no real-life scenarios or implementation techniques, which were not, that wasn't as useful as I thought it would be, and it can seem really simple for leaders with experience. So suggestions for further actions is to just reread this book and further absorb the knowledge from this book, trying to take 5 to 10 ideas and trying to implement them into my daily work life every month, and then try to continue to improve on these ideas as I implement more things into my life. Take Baldoni's suggestions and use a checklist. So every time that I try to implement these ideas, I'm going to use a checklist to make sure that I'm doing them every day. further explore his website and the tools found there. There's infographics and animations to kind of help enforce and enhance leadership skills, so I'll continue to reference those. And then just add other books on leadership into my leadership library and continue to learn from those. Do I feel like John Baldoni has met the objectives? I would say yes. He gives great tools, tips, and techniques to new leaders. He encourages and reinforces what experienced leaders already know, and he addresses issues in the three main areas: yourself, your colleagues, and your organization. And then would I recommend this book? For sure. It's great for new leaders. It's easy to read. The action tips help kind of summarize the learning at the end of each chapter. It's a great reference depending on whatever situation you have and what it applies to, so yourself, your colleagues, or the organization. It's useful to read when you're beginning as a new leader, or it's easy to reference when you're an experienced leader. And it gives great tools to learn to control yourself and handle situations more appropriately and to practice scenarios.